So here we are, we're finally close enough to the event that we've been waiting for a year now that we can make one of these videos. I do believe that we made the same one last year, but last year no new headset was revealed. The year before, however, when the Quest 2 was being revealed, we did make a video like this, and well, it turned out that we had quite a few things right. So let's do it again this year. What is up everyone, I'm Mysticle, and today I'm going to tell you everything we know about the Quest Pro, and whether I think you should be upgrading if you're on the Quest 2 right now. So as usual, let's begin. The Quest Pro is just around the corner. Yes, we are no longer calling it the Cambria, as that is one of the first facts we actually have about the device. The device's codename throughout production and throughout development was Project Cambria. However, we now know that the fully blown name of the project is the the Meta Quest Pro. That's gone. So it is a Pro device. We also know that the price tag is going to be significantly higher than $800. So I'm not going to sugarcoat, and instantly at the beginning of this video, I'm going to tell you that a lot of people think that that price tag is going to be somewhere around $1,500. So if that is a huge factor in whether you'll be buying this device or not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you down. This is not going to be a cheap device like most previous Quest devices were. Also, you know, Facebook or Meta already brought up the device of the Quest, so I don't think these things are going to be going down very much. However, it is going to be quite a powerful device, also shown by its Pro name. But I do think that this might honestly be a pretty nice headset for the consumer market as well, considering that a lot of other companies are also itching towards this kind of Pro vibe of a headset. Or maybe it shouldn't be called Pro anymore. Maybe this should be the standard for VR 2.0. But anyway, let's move on to some specs. All of these specs are coming from Sadly It's Bradley's website. He's written some absolutely extensive and just amazing research. Links down below in case you want to read it for yourself. So here is everything we know currently. For the specs of the headset, and this is a prediction by Sadly It's Bradley, he's been right about quite a few things to date, and as I said, I simp for Brad and I trust Brad. So yeah, it's going to have the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 5G SoC. So the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 is actually currently in our current Quest 2 devices. However, it is severely downclocked due to thermal limitations. So it's going to be interesting to see whether it is more powerful in this device here, if it has better cooling, and whether, you know, the speeds will be better. Supposedly, yes, they will be, as it is a Pro device. It's an upgrade, so it should be better. We're going to have 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, where the Quest 2 actually only comes with 6, so that is double the RAM. And in case you don't know what RAM is, it's a random access memory. I'm not going to go into detail, but essentially it's a very big part of how fast your computer or other device can work, how many tasks it can do at the same time. That is a very watered down explanation of what RAM actually does, but all you need to know is that it's quite important, and having 12 gigs of it is going to be a lot more than quite a few people still have in their PCs, so that's pretty good. It's going to have 256 gigabytes of storage. It says nothing here in Brad's final predictions about 512, but I'm only going to assume that it's going to come in two sizes, 256 and 512. I don't think that they're only going to sell one size. I think selling only 256 would actually be a mistake in a Pro device, especially since games and applications are getting larger in size. Now, they are still working on Avalanche, by the way, in case you don't know what Avalanche is. I know I'm veering off track here a little bit, but Avalanche is their cloud gaming service. That has been confirmed that they are working on it, but of course, not everyone has internet good enough to use that. Not everyone likes cloud gaming, so it would be nice to see a 512 gigabyte model as well. It's going to have a total of 10 sensors plus IR depth projector for mixed reality. That is quite exciting. Of course, this is also going to be a mixed reality device featuring AR color pass-through cameras, so that is really, really nice. Brad actually has the full naming scheme of all of this. Essentially, there's code names like Canyon, Glacier, Teton, and Esker, and it tells you all the resolutions of all the cameras used for IR constellation tracking and hand tracking, depth pass-through, IR constellation tracking, and hand tracking, and a 16 megapixel RGB pass-through overlay. This is one that we're very excited about. 16 megapixels is actually quite a lot. I mean, most phones still only use 12. Mine has 48, but weird flex, but okay. But yeah, no, 16 megapixels RGB pass-through in color is finally going to be a HD color pass-through. I'm quite excited about that. I cannot wait for all the AR games that will supposedly come out for it. And we have face tracking and eye tracking as well. So of course, there's a ton of upgrades when it comes to the inside of this headset and tracking and cameras and and all of that good stuff. It's going to be fantastic for social, especially if VR chat can implement face and eye tracking. I mean, I think VR chat on this headset could work really nicely for social with all of those cameras, especially if you could have, like, say, a pass-through mode in VR chat where you can project VR chat characters into your real life room. That would be incredibly cool. And if you could, like, somehow project your room to them as well. Just an interesting thought. Veering off track again, let's move on. It's going to have dual QLED panels. So QLED, of course, not OLED, but still really, really nice. It's going to have 2160 by 2160 per eye, where the rendered resolution is going to be 1800 by 1920 per eye. I do not fully understand why this resolution is lower. I don't know how to get into that technical detail. I saw a few comments saying that this could possibly be a limitation, as on the Quest, apparently the environment is also rendered at a much lower resolution than the panels originally are. This could be because in this headset specifically, something very interesting is happening. The panels are actually rotated at an angle. So that is also pretty interesting, but I don't know, and I don't know how to explain the fact that they are rendering at a lower resolution. A quantum dot layer for a better color gamut, a mini LED backlighting for local dimming, and counter rotated at 21 degrees to improve VFOV. So this is what I was telling you about. So the panels, instead of being straight, they are now going to be at an angle, so you're going to be able to see a little more to the sides. It's an interesting take on a interesting problem, and yeah, hopefully that will increase the FOV a little bit. And I mean, the resolution is quite a bit of an upgrade from the Quest 2, as the Quest 2 uses a resolution of 1920 by 1832 per eye, but I don't think it's going to be that massive when it comes to standalone games. Most of those are quite simple anyway, but there have been some absolutely beautiful standalone games coming out recently. It's going to have custom pancake lenses, so no longer Fresnel lenses. No longer will you be able to see those rings, and hopefully it will remove a lot of the glare. It's going to be pancake lenses, according to me, should be the minimum right now. It's really nice. I've been able to check them out a few times on a few different headsets, and they do come out a lot better than Fresnel lenses. We've got Wi-Fi 6E, improved spatial audio, a 5000 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery, dock charging is available, and it's going to supposedly be, again, $1,500 for the full kit, the HMD controllers, charging pad cables, documentation. And pre-orders should begin during Mark Zuckerberg's keynote at Meta Connect, and the street release date should hopefully be October 25th, 2022. So we've got a lot here about the headset itself. Again, very well documented by Sadly It's Bradley, goes a lot more into detail in case you're interested in that kind of stuff. Again, all links down below. But now we're going to move on to the controllers, as the controllers are quite interesting on this headset. They're going to be nothing like anything we've seen before, as the controllers have no tracking rings. They are no longer tracked by the headset itself. It's an interesting fix for, once again, an interesting problem. Ever since headsets have been using inside-out tracking and tracking the controllers themselves, we've had a huge blind spot for anywhere that the headsets can't see. Meta is now tackling that problem by putting the cameras on the controllers themselves. So the controllers are also going to have their own Qualcomm chip, specifically a Qualcomm 662 SoC. They're going to have 3 IR cameras for standalone 6DoF tracking. They're going to be rechargeable, non-removable 3200 milliamp hour batteries with dock charging. They also seem to have a magnetic charging connector, so it won't be as simple as just plug the controller in, as it would probably just fly right off if you wanted to, I don't know, plug them into a power bank and play using them with a power bank. They're going to have HD haptics. Supposedly, they're also going to have the same kind of haptic triggers as we have on the PS5 controllers, which would improve immersion and FPSs and multiple other games quite a bit. Very excited for that. They're going to have pressure sensors, of course, and supposedly they're also going to be noticeably heavier than Quest 2 controllers. Of course, they're going to have a lot more in them, non-removable batteries, an SoC, a full even operating system of their own. I mean, last I remember, they're actually going to be running a custom version of Android, which is hilarious. They're going to launch with the Cambria HMD. Supposedly at the beginning they were not going to launch with the Cambria HMD, but now they're launching with it, and they're going to launch as a separate bundle with the charging dock, so for $300. Why this is interesting is because full bundle is $1,500, but you're also going to be able to buy the HMD separately without the controllers, as you're not going to need them because we now have hand tracking, and not everybody uses the headset for gaming, so not everybody is going to need the controllers. So you'll be able to buy the controller, it seems, at $300, and the headset at like $1,200 or something like that, as they come with the dock as well. So, you know, that is quite an interesting take there. We've talked about it before, whether Meta will ever release a headset without controllers, and then you'll be able to buy them separately or buy them as a bundle, and it seems that that might be the case here. There's a lot of things we know about these devices. In fact, we know most of the things about these devices. We've seen the unboxing video. A lot of people were like, there seems to be a massive gap between the headset and the face. There doesn't seem to be a facial interface there to cover up any light bleed that might be coming in. I do think that if Meta doesn't release something like that, somebody will. So just to kind of TLDR this entire thing, bundle controllers with headset, $1,500, 2160 by 2160 per eye QLED panels, with the controllers having their own Qualcomm Snapdragon 662 SoC with onboard tracking cameras, hopefully a much lower blind spot, if any at all. I mean, only if you cover up the cameras. Non-removable battery. Quite a lot of people were upset with that. You know, you won't be able to replace batteries on the fly. If these die, you will have to charge them. Hopefully launching October 25th, and pre-orders starting on Mark Zuckerberg's keynote. So that is everything we know about the Meta Quest Pro with its controllers, and it is quite an interesting headset. If you ask me, this is something I am going to be very interested in. Unfortunately, I will not be able to, or maybe I will be able to buy it during the keynote pre-order, as I have a load of taxes to pay this month, which is very happy. I am also incredibly excited for the AR capabilities of this device. Personally, myself, I would be buying this device mostly for the AR capabilities, as that is something that I think is going to be huge here. With 16 megapixel color RGB cameras, I feel like AR is going to blow up using this device. It also seems very lightweight and very slim compared to the Quest 2. A lot of people were saying it's not as slim as they'd like it to be, but it is quite an upgrade, we have to say. Also, counterbalance should be a lot better, as most of the electronics will be in the back of the device's head strap. So does that mean we won't be able to have third-party head straps anymore? I'm not certain, but it does also mean that if we can't have third-party head straps, they also need to think this through very well and hopefully release something that is very good with counterbalance. Either way, do I think you should be getting this device if you have a Quest 2? Not necessarily, for the simple reason that this is a pro device. It's a $1,500 device. If you are looking to buy this device simply just for gaming, yes, it does have a ton of different technology, but if you're not going for face and eye tracking, there isn't going to be that much of a difference in the standalone ability of this device. It's also running an XR2 chip, and unless it's being cooled a lot better than the one in the Quest 2, I just don't see it being that much better when it comes to standalone. Again, I myself personally am super excited for the technology in this device, the XR capabilities, the face and eye tracking. According to me, that's a Gen 2. That's a big upgrade. Also, it being much lighter and much slimmer, that's a huge plus for me, an instant jump up, as I will be able to wear the device for a longer time, and my enjoyment of VR will therefore be larger. However, if none of those things are kind of a problem for you on the current Quest 2, I don't see why you would need to jump ship. I don't think you're going to be missing out too much, unless of course some insane standalone games start coming out for the Cambria, Quest Pro, and not for the Quest 2, which a lot of AR things probably will. And while the resolution is an upgrade, I'm not sure that many people will notice. I know I will, as I'm a nerd and I look for things like this. I feel like the pancake lenses are going to be a massive upgrade here, but again, if you don't have an issue with the Fresnel lenses, it's hard for me to kind of tell you, yes, you should upgrade, no, you shouldn't upgrade. You kind of have to look at the specs, compare everything, and answer that for yourself, as it is a pro device and it's not exactly cheap, so it's definitely not going to be for everyone. They're definitely not aiming for the masses here like they were with the Quest 2. You know, we have a bunch of other devices right now. Tomorrow, and for you probably today, there's the Pico Neo 4 event. We also have maybe the Valve Deck Card coming soon, the Pimax 12K QLED, of course, that's another device. So a lot of super exciting devices that we should be looking forward to. A bunch from other companies that we have not fully heard of just yet as well. Let me know, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that people that don't buy the Quest Pro are going to miss out quite a bit? And do you think that this is a big upgrade over the Quest 2? Anyway, I'm Mysticle. This has been our predictions video on the Quest Pro. Well, should I say Bradley's predictions on the Quest Pro, but I completely agree with him. If you guys liked this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, this button does work too. Thank you so much to the Patreons that support this channel. You guys help me out a ton, paying my bills, paying my subscriptions, and overall helping me make these videos better. If you guys want to support the channel, links are down below. And as usual, check out our Discord, check out our Reddit. I want to see you posting your spicy memes on there. If you guys want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.